On September 7th, 1996, Tupac Shakur, while in the prime of his career, was shot fatally in LA. After several investigations and coverage, the search for the murderer was never successful, and to this day, there are many people who are still wondering who really killed Tupac. In this video today, we put across a theory that might just be correct. So watch the video up ahead to find out who really killed Tupac Shakur. But before we get into the details, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video or updates from us. In a documentary, Davis describes how he was a front seat passenger in the white Cadillac, from which the fatal shots were fired. Davis says the car was driven by Terrence T. Brown, while DeAndre Dre Smith and Davies' nephew Orlando Baby Lane Anderson were in the backseat. After the death of XXXTentacion, Sky News looks at a major hip-hop artists killed or seriously injured in shootings and violence. All the men were a part of the Southside Crips gang, and Brown, Smith, and Anderson have since died. Davies says that they had been looking for Tupac, who he alleges had beaten up one of their fellow gang members at the 662 Club, owned by Death Row Records boss Marion Suge Knight, who was known to be with Tupac that evening. However, he says after leaving the club without finding Tupac, they saw him in a BMW standing up like a celebrity in a parade through the top of the car. No one has ever been prosecuted for his murder. He goes on, if he wouldn't even been out the window, we would have never seen him. When directly asked who fired the shot, Davies' answer was with a smile, going to keep it for the code of the streets. It just came from the back seat, bro. Tupac Shakur split with Madonna over race issues, says letter for Madonna, being with a black man wouldn't jeopardize her career, the letter says, but things were different for the rapper. However, from a previous recorded police interview, Davies identifies his nephew Anderson because the gunman saying he leaned over and fired from the right-hand side of the car. Anderson, who died aged 24 in an unrelated gang shooting in 1998, had previously denied the claim. Kyle Long, the chief producer of the documentary, has criticized the LAPD for taking no action, despite Davis confessing to an accessory to murder. Previously, links were made between Tupac's shooting and that of fellow rapper the notorious B.I.G., also referred to as Biggie Smalls, in March of the following year. On September 7th, 1996, hip-hop icon Tupac was shot and killed in Las Vegas. Tupac and his entourage were on their way thanks to a club when they were stopped near Koval Lane and Flamingo Road. A white Cadillac then pulled beside them and opened fire. Tupac was hit several times and he died later from his injuries. In the 25 years since his murder, nobody has ever been charged in Shakur's death. To the present day, fans still visit the location of the shooting to offer messages of support to the rapper. Tupac's swinging hard in the final footage captured of him alive. Heavyweight champ Tyson has just weakened Bruce Seldon without breaking a sweat in the MGM Grand Hotel, dispatching his foe in 109 seconds, ending things with a left hook unleashed sort of a tiger from a cage. Shakur is hyped after the bout. 20 blows, 20 blows. Associates recall him exclaiming upon Tyson's destruction of Seldon in under 24 punches. As he's walking back through the hotel, Shakur spots Orlando Anderson, a known gang member who got into it with a member of Shakur's Death Row Records crew, Trevon Trey Lane, that year at a mall in Anderson's native Los Angeles. Tupac pounces. He instigates a brief but brutal brawl in the hotel lobby that leaves Anderson flat on his back, absorbing kicks and the casino carpet at once. Security cameras capture the scene, following Shakur departing the property in an adrenalized get the hell out of my way strut. And that's the last we ever see of him alive. 2 hours later, Tupac is gunned down in his black BMW as it idles at a red light on Flamingo Road and Koval Lane. It depends who you ask, says Stephanie Frederick, a journalist and film producer who's worked on the Shakur biopic All Eyes on Me and the A&E documentary series Who Killed Tupac. If you ask the Las Vegas Police Department, they'll tell you it's because, well, the people that know aren't talking. When you ask the people that do know, they're like, oh, that situation is handled. There's too many dirty details, Frederick tells the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Too many of us who will come under attack. Too many secrets which will probably get out, that shouldn't be out. There's numerous entanglements. The Mob Museum in Las Vegas weighed in this week with a discussion titled One Night in Las Vegas, the 25th anniversary of the Tupac Shakur murder. The event featured panelists Frederick, Public Enemy frontman Chuck D, Frederick Reynolds, a former police officer who assisted in investigating the many gang-related shootings and murders in Compton in the aftermath of Shakur's death, and rapper Idi Amin, a childhood friend of Tupac, who was in Shakur's former hip-hop group, The Outlaws, and who was traveling in the car behind Shakur on the night of the shooting. Sometimes, when you do something in hindsight, like 25 years or 50 years later, the people who were involved can be much more open about what they say, says Jeff Schumacher, Vice President of Exhibits and Programs at what is officially called the National Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement. If you're the reporter on the scene, the police are going to offer you only the minimal amount of information about what occurred, he said. What we're hoping is that with this 25-year anniversary program, that we can shed some light on what actually happened. What? He's gone? A voice conveys the same urgency as the sirens blaring in the background. I got a couple of guys shot, a Las Vegas police officer shouts, speaking over the sound of a helicopter whirring nearby. In audio recordings of police radio traffic on the night of the shooting, obtained by Review Journal, you can hear the chaos unfold as various officers arrive on the scene. Gold chains around his neck, slathered in blood, Shakur is rushed to the University Center. Suddenly, Las Vegas became the center of national and international news cycles. Even though this incident occurred before social media and really before the internet became a thing, the news still spread incredibly fast, recalls Schumacher, a longtime journalist who was the city editor for the Las Vegas Sun when Shakur was shot. People were flocking to Las Vegas to somehow be a part of this. Frederick was among them. There were arguments made that the killing was a result of the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop feud between Sean Puffy Combs, Bad Boy Records label, and Death Row Records. The Knight himself ordered the hit because he had owed Shakur a large royalty payment and feared that the rapper was going to leave his label. Even whispers that government entities wanted Tupac silenced for his ability to talk and lead the African American community. Nevertheless, the evidence continually points back to Anderson, his desire for revenge after getting assaulted by Tupac publicly, and therefore the rivalry between LA's Bloods and Crips gangs. Anderson looks anything but comfortable. Flanked by his lawyer, he's just been asked a point-blank question about a point-blank shooting. Did you kill Tupac? He denies it, but his answer only raises more questions. When you analyze his answer, it doesn't come back good for him, explains Frederick, who conducted the exclusive interview just 6 weeks after Tupac's death. He stutters, his eyes shift. The interview is featured in Who Killed Tupac? Landing it wasn't easy. At the time, it was probably one of the foremost dangerous things to do, to try to secure an interview with the Southside Crips, Frederick recalls. I went down to Compton and started asking around, and they basically told me, get out of here. Not everyone had a cell phone back then, so I was handing out cards, and eventually I got a call back. Anderson was getting death threats at the time. Word of his alleged involvement in the shooting had gotten out. He was feeling the heat. He wanted to tell his side of the story, but his response probably did little to dissuade anyone who believed him to be the shooter. So why was he never apprehended? Even with the MGM Grand security footage, police initially did not make the connection between Anderson's beatdown and Tupac's shooting. We don't think this guy even knew who Tupac was, or who he was even dealing with, Las Vegas Police Sergeant Kevin Manning told the Review Journal. In a story that ran the day before Shakur's death, Anderson was interviewed after the altercation, but no charges were filed at his request, nor did police obtain his name. In the initial aftermath of the incident, with Anderson speaking to the police as Shakur fled the scene, local authorities didn't think that Anderson had the time to organize the hit. Because of the timing, we don't believe there is any significance in regard to the shooting, Manning said. He, Tupac, had already left. I suppose it's possible, but it's also possible that pigs might be ready to fly someday. Metro failed to talk with Anderson after the shooting, though Compton police later identified him and his gang affiliation, believing him to be the triggerman. Less than 2 years later, on May 29, 1998, Anderson was killed during a gun-related shootout at age 23. To some, this means that Tupac's murder will never officially be solved. To others, it means that it already has been. When the hood doesn't believe that the police will solve it, they take matters into their own hands, Frederick explains. Has the case been solved? Not to the public's satisfaction, she acknowledges, but to the satisfaction of many others. That's all about it. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such entertaining content. See you in the next video.